Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. Now, if you're joining us now, we're talking all about Insurance Awareness Week. And joining us to speak about this is Shantel Lofter-Knight, who is the president of the Belize Association of Insurance and Financial Advisors, and also Carol Panton-Rose, who is the vice president of the association, and also Elia, who is the PR officer of the Belize Kidney Association of Belize. Good morning, ladies, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you.
Now, Insurance Awareness Week. What's it all about?
Okay.
Start there.
Let's kick that off, right?
Yeah.
So, thank you for having us, first of all. Insurance Awareness Week is a week where we, as insurance advisors, promote the importance of being insured, right? We have several activities that we do throughout the week.
Yeah.
We start off the week by attending a special church service so that we can get special blessings on our activities that we have for the week. We do a food drive during Insurance Awareness Week.
Yeah.
We also have a health fair, and that's why Miss Elia is here to talk about Kidney Association. The Belize Association of Insurance and Financial Advisors consists of different insurance companies within Belize.
Yeah.
The members of our association are RFG Insurance, Sagicor Insurance, Diversified Life Solutions, Simpson Insurance, and am I forgetting anybody? Atlantic Insurance.
Mm-hmm.
These are companies that offer, our focus is life and health insurance, and so that's basically what our association does. Our association has been established since 1994. In talking and promoting insurance, we have also adopted the Kidney Association of Belize as one of our causes, and we have been supporting kidney for over 10 years. So as advisors, the association is there to ensure that we standardize the way people do business so that we enhance the customer experience, right? It should always be about the customer in whatever service business there is. The customer should always come first. So the association is there to make sure that the experience is always the best that it could be. Mm-hmm. It's not just about pushing an insurance product, as salespeople may always appear to come over, right? It's about the client and meeting needs. So as we do the activities for the week, we try to interact with people as well, and we never miss to educate people on insurance. Yeah. And so
it's a great opportunity to educate, and I'm sure you know more than anyone else that there are two very distinct school of thoughts when it comes to insurance. It's either people who feel that you must get it, get as much coverage as you can, or people who believe it is just not worth it. And I want to start there, just how you've been seeing the growth of people, or if there is a growth of people purchasing insurance products, and what type of products are they getting?
You want to come Shantel?
Well, throughout the years, health has been the number one priority. Yeah. And whenever we're presenting, the focus is always about health insurance coverage. You know, the need is always there. They'd prefer see the need and get the value, the health, you actually have access, you have use of it, right? As opposed to having a life, it's a more standardized sell, whereby, again, it's the need. It's always based on the need, right?
Yeah.
Consumers are becoming more aware, right? Yeah. But there is still the stigma about insurance. Yeah. Some people, a lot of people will tell you, no, it's just a ripoff. It's a waste of time. We always encourage people to look at the negative. There are so many, at the positive, sorry. There are so many positive things about insurance. People have good stories. But as a people, we always tend to focus on the negative, right? So the consumer awareness is growing. People are becoming more educated. But it is still basically trying to explain to people, I think the level of education is still not there. Yeah. Insurance is not a big thing in Belize as it is perhaps in the Caribbean and other parts of the world. Yeah. So people are not sensitized to it enough. That is why as advisors it's important that we have that one-on-one with people, form relationships and try to show people how it's there to help, right? As opposed to having it just be another expense. on your list of expenses.
What do you find to be the first barriers if you're going out to someone? Let's talk health first, right? So if you're going out to somebody who doesn't have insurance, in the US, for example, they're always talking about insurance. You have to have it.
Yes.
In fact, you won't be treated at a hospital unless you have health insurance.
Right.
We are not under that type of mandate here, so it really is optional. So when you go to somebody and you say, okay, do you want to be insured or have health coverage? Well, what are some of the first concerns that they have, and how do you allay those concerns?
People are always concerned that the insurance, whether or not the insurance will be there for them when they need it the most.
Yeah.
Right? It's important that people know what they're getting into. It's a two-way street. When we as advisors sit down with people, we have to be open, transparent, and we encourage our clients to it's a relationship.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, we have to work with people to see what their needs are, so it's a needs focused thing.
Yeah.
And that is how, that is how we handle that.
Yeah.
We also get them to fit it in their budget, right?
Very important.
Why is it important? I mean, if somebody doesn't have insurance, the thing with insurance is you don't know you need it till you need it.
It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it, right? So people look for insurance when it's too late.
Yeah.
Especially health insurance. Normally people are not calling you for insurance. If somebody picks up the phone and calls me and says, you know what, I'm looking for a health insurance, it could be that it's just because they want to secure their family. Because when you talk about insurance, it's financial security really, because we're talking about disasters like life and death and health. And when those things hit, it affects the standard of living for your family.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about. And the importance, we always say that insurance is a language of love, right? It's about those you care about, your ability to being able to provide for them. When we talk about the whole life insurance, I think people would prefer just not to deal with that. They take the ostrich mentality, right? Head in the sand mentality. But again, it's an education process.
Yeah.
It's assuring people you have to know what you're getting into, being open and honest and genuine in dealing with people. Making sure that they know what they're covered for, what they're not covered for. And as consumers, sometimes you find that people are just going to a contract and they just sign. We've all done it at some point or the other, right? And so people have to be aware of what they're undertaking so that there won't be any surprises.
Yeah.
So.
And, we keep talking about, the importance of having health insurance. And I would imagine that people who have, for example, ongoing conditions are the people who may need it most because they have to access treatment at hospitals, clinics, on a regular basis. So how does an organization like the Belize Kidney Association, encourage people or educate people about what options they have for insurance and, what they can do, so that they could, stay secured or insured?
Well, Belize have adopted the Kidney Association, not in the education, the importance of insurance, but they have adopted us, and we gain the proceeds that they fundraise at their events, and that proceeds is what we put towards in subsidizing patients with hemodialysis, peritoneal dialysis, and to give educational awareness to the public. That is how we tie in with Belize.
Yeah. I mean, and I think this relationship has become one because clearly, if someone has kidney failure and they have to go on dialysis, it is a massive expense.
It is, and then hence the reason we partner in having the health fair, and we will have the health fair this coming Friday, October 25th, at the Lions parking lot, and we will have different tests. We have educational booth, and there will be they will all be they will have their team out there, and they will emphasize on the importance of why insurance is important, because you have additional booths that will provide health information, and these are the different diseases that affects the patient and the family, not just financially but emotionally and psychologically.
Just to elaborate a little bit on that, it's all about prevention as well. Because when we talk to people, just in terms of trying to set them up and assisting them with their budget to get an insurance product, we have to talk about the prevention, and that is one of the biggest things. Kidney is big on awareness when it comes to prevention. So it's not only about your financial security, it's about your health. And you know, we don't manage our finances, we don't manage our health, it's all tied together. Unfortunately, after you are sick, you don't qualify for medical insurance. So this is why it's important for people to be proactive, other than being reactive, as is the culture.
Yeah. And, you know, I always find too that sometimes, because most health insurance plans have their checkup included, right? Some of the preventative care. And people don't always access it. I think that's one of the things that we still shy away from. Is that part of what people don't understand?
Not necessarily. I believe that people, for females, we will go.
Yeah.
Males will tend to be more delayed. I'll do it next year.
Yeah.
Right? Us as agents would advise our clients to, you know, go take advantage of it. Do your annual physical, especially for groups. They would, the different institutions, health institutions would provide packages at the beginning of the year and promote it to different companies, big companies. That way everybody can benefit from it now at a lower cost.
Or the common things that we see in Belize, we know diabetes, hypertension, and also cancer is one of the things we're seeing very often. In fact, I believe it's Atlantic Insurance who recently came out with a special cancer policy as well. So it shows that locally the dynamic shifts in terms of where or greater needs are.
We have always promoted our critical illness, which is a package of about 23 major illnesses, like heart attack, kidney failure, stroke. You know, as long as you have that critical illness coverage, you're covered upon diagnosis of that illness.
So we're different insurance companies, remember, that that make up the association, and however, everybody has that entity of critical illness. So it's definitely something on the top of people's list. When you talk about sickness, like you said, the first thing that comes to mind is cancer. Young people are suffering diabetes, heart attack, things like that, right? So all of our companies do promote critical illness, and it's a coverage that's affordable. A lot of people shy away from insurance because they think they just won't be able to afford it. But we encourage people to look into your options, you know, explore your opportunities.
And doing a proper needs analysis, all of those different benefits will be addressed. When you sit with the customer, with the client, doing the proper needs analysis, you touch on all those different benefits, right?
And do you find that the more people are aware of the options that they have, or just educated more about insurance in general, that they're more receptive and they're more willing to actually go out and, you know, I see you shaking your head already. Is that a no?
No, it's a no. We have to do more to promote. We have to increase our awareness. We have to promote it more.
And that is what the Kidney Association always also adapt. Our primary objective is to bring awareness and sensitize people the importance about healthy lifestyle and what is the cause when that is not adaptive. So therefore, when we go to the public, we ensure them that, you know, kindly do an annual checkup. What is your family history? Family history, if they have any diabetes, if they're diabetic, they are hypertensive, because some of those diseases are hereditary. So they have to be aware of it. What things you can put in place so you don't reach that end stage renal failure. So when we go and do our awareness now, we incorporate all information about health, about what you can put in place that can help your family to, you know, to stand by, to have that financial support and so forth. We do encourage them to put things in place like an insurance, that will kick in place in the event that someone reach the end stage renal failure. But that is just kidney, and there are also cancer. There's also, lupus. There's other illnesses that affects an individual
that carry a heavy financial burden.
I
think
carries.
That's an example that's really good to use. I think if you reach end stage renal failure, what's the cost of dialysis now?
Right now it's $280 per session.
200 per session, usually 3 times a week,
You get 3 times a week.
$600 a week.
And luckily right now the government have, really stepped in and have 88 patients with two session per person every week. So but they still have difficulty in finding the $200 to take on the other session. And
if I'm newly diagnosed, I can't get on that program because that's full, right?
Yeah, it's full. And there's a team with Ministry of Health. They are the one that try to see how they can fit in individuals.
Of course, yeah.
And the Belize Healthcare Partners, I believe they offer it at $150, but there are other minor costs with administration fee and whatnot. But it's costly, and that is why we go and we really sensitize the information. And remember that when someone is diagnosed with a chronic illness, it not just affect the patient itself, but all your family.
I mean, we've had countless stories here at the news where people come and it's such a critical situation. They're begging for funds to, get a biopsy, to do a surgery, to do a round of chemotherapy. The cancer patients I've met at the Cancer Society, luckily, they're able to access their treatments, but they're doing barbecue sales and whatnot to try to subsidize the cost. And I've known families where they're heavily indebted after spending a long time fighting for a loved one who eventually dies and the debt remains.
Right.
So I think that that's one of the things we don't think about when we consider insurance. But you're right. I think the first thought is it affordable for me? And I guess that's the question we can say. How affordable is it for your average person to be covered?
It depends on a lot of factors.
Yeah.
It depends on your age, your health situation. If you are a bigger risk, we would have to charge you a higher price. And so it's a lot of factors that determine that. Health insurance is not the cheapest form of insurance. It certainly isn't. But that is why we always focus, again, it's the importance of helping people to sit down and work these things within your budget. It's all about prioritizing. Because at the end of the day, when we have these overwhelming costs, and people can tell you who have insurance, it doesn't pay everything, but it surely greatly alleviates the burden. And so just as we hear the terrible stories, we know what people are going through, again, the insurance makes it a whole lot better. There's a peace of mind. And so that costing really happens on an individual basis. It's based as well on how much insurance coverage you actually want to get. If you're familiar with deductibles, which is your out-of-pocket cost, that determines. So we really have to work with people. And not everyone will be able to afford it, but we have to move to action, right? And when some people may think that they can't afford it as well, again, it goes back to the budget. Sometimes when you sit down with people and look at what they're doing with their money, we always have to prioritize. We're all guilty of it at some point or the other. So it's about deciding where the priorities lie, setting yourself up from an early stage in life, especially our young adults. These things are not taught in school, We have our parents that try to educate us the best way that they can. And the older people, they will tell you about savings and all those things, but it's early planning. And so this is how we can turn things around for generations to come and encourage our young people to get it right the first time with their financial security. And so
that was going to be my next question, actually, because clearly as a person ages, you get more susceptible to chronic conditions, or you may not even get there. You could just you could be working for so many years and then you have an accident or some emergency situation pops up, and you don't really have any form of security, financial security to fall back on. So I was going to ask, does the association target younger people to encourage them to do, to start early, as you said?
You want to touch on that, Shantel?
It wouldn't be the association touching. It would be the individual insurance companies promoting their products. And I believe that for the younger people, the cost is much more affordable. It's cheaper. But sadly, younger people they are more negative with regards to health insurance coverage. They feel they don't need it. Right? So
they can't imagine all the future illnesses that may come.
correct.
That's the biggest challenge. When I first started out in the insurance industry, I said that one of my markets would have been the young people. And I find out that I spend most of my time educating because they will sit down, they will listen. Sometimes you're not sure if you're really getting through, but at the end of the day, the majority of them will not move to action. And so we have to put in work to make sure that we can turn that around.
Yeah.
So that's the experience with the younger people.
All right. So clearly, if someone is interested at your fair, you'll have some information available there that people can access. Tell us what else is happening in the commemoration of the week.
Okay. The week starts off on Sunday.
Okay.
We usually open the week with a church service. Thereafter, at the church service, I must say, all the members will be there, insurance agents. We will be blessing the week.
That's some insurance.
Also, Monday, Tuesday of next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll be going into schools, educating them on the importance of insurance.
Okay.
And Thursday and Friday, we'll be having a food drive. It's our annual food drive in support of Liberty Children's Home in Ladyville.
Okay.
We will have carts at three different supermarket, namely Brothers on the Highway, Publix on the Highway, and Save You.
Okay.
Also on Friday we'll be having the health fair.
Yeah. And that's going to be here at
Lions parking lot, correct. We have several different associations coming up.
Yeah.
And then our grand end off would be the Saturday, which is the Red Gala Dinner and Dance in support of Belize Kidney Association.
That's going to be at the Biltmore.
Okay.
It starts at 7, finishes at 2.
And that's the 26th?
That's the 26th which is next week, Saturday.
Okay.
It's an annual event.
Yeah.
For years.
It's your Red Gala, right?
Red
For,
Gala.
The Kidney Association.
Yes.
All right. And at the Kidney Association booth at that fair next Friday,
This Friday, we'll have, along with Belize, we'll have 4 tests that we'll do. We have 4. The Belize Diabetes Association will do diabetes tests. They also the Kidney Association will be do the blood pressure and the urinalysis test, and we have HIV tests. You know, those are voluntary. That we ask the public to come, know your status, not just HIV but your kidney as well. Check to see if you have diabetes, if you have high blood pressure. We also have educational booth with the Kidney Association will be providing information. We have HECOPAB, we have NDAC, we have chest clinic, we have BCVI that will do eye testing as well, and providing information about your site.
Yeah.
We also have Red Cross. They will talk about the importance about first aid, and we have the CPAP now. That's an organization that provides information about sleep apnea and sleep disorders. So we have these educational booths, and like I said, the awareness is of great value.
Yeah.
So we ask the public to come out, know about these organizations, because there are organizations that have a wealth of information, but it's just you have to access, and you also have to do your part by going there, seeking the information, know about it,
and taking advantage of the free testing. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
And we do this yearly, not just when we have the insurance week, but the kidney. The Kidney Association also have its Kidney Month in March, and we do all these testing, and these testings are for free. So it's you have to play your role in seeking these tests, know about yourself. You don't want to wait last minute, and then you're sit there in regretting everything that you should have put in place.
Yeah.
But and the association is so happy now or to see other places like health providers. They provide, when they include the package, they put in kidney tests or autoimmune disorder tests. I mean, because these lead to chronic kidney failure in the long run.
Yeah.
And in most cases, people are not aware of the symptoms, like, you know, kidney, end-stage renal failure have 5 stages, and in most cases people are not aware of kidney problem until they reach stage 3 and stage 4.
Until it's very
when
late.
you can act on it then and prolong it, but you know, end-stage renal failure is irreversible. So when it reaches stage 3 and stage 4, if you don't put in the preventative measures and you don't adopt a healthy lifestyle, then eventually your kidney will fail. And then when it fails, now you have the additional, you know, financial burden in maintaining that with, you know, dialysis.
And so, you know, I think what you've just shared is really just a snippet of all the information that is available at the Kidney Association. And you know, end-stage renal failure is something that's not just costly, it's very devastating to the family itself. So looking at prevention is really the best way to go.
That's right.
Your health fair is next Friday, your Red Gala is next Saturday. Tickets, I'm sure you can get from the insurance companies.
You can.
The members?
We have our different agents who are selling tickets for us, yes. So all of our advisors.
And all the proceeds go right back to the Kidney Association.
Yes, and the Kidney Association also have tickets to sale, so they can call us. And you know, we are beneficiary, and we are so happy or so proud when we have organization that stepped in and see our cause, you know, and then it also returns back to the patients who need it. And it's not just dialysis, but you know, we use the fund to mobilize our team to do the awareness and to those who urgently, because they get some patient that goes into the ER and they didn't know that their kidneys incomplete failing, and they need the urgent insertions and the catheter and the vascular. So that comes with a cost, and you when you reach that point there, you need to urgently seek a dialysis treatment. So it comes with a heavy cost.
Yeah. All right. Well, ladies, thank you for coming in, and best of luck with your awareness activities next week. And of course, we really do encourage people to come on out to the health fair next Friday and take advantage of all the information that will be available, the free testing, and knowing more about your own health status. We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we will be talking about the Diversity Visa Lottery Program from the U.S. Embassy. So please stay tuned.